Hello, my name is Connor Grandin, and this is my video traceback of Lab 8 for the Week 11 discussion. This is what my program looks like when you launch it. It looks like this. Now, in the beginning, it looks, relatively random. Like, there's a lot of things that seem very random in this. It's the position of where the round heads are, their mood. A lot more seem to be happy than mad. And their hat color seems to be random, as well as I don't know if I said their sizes, but a lot of randomness seems to be happening. And if we exit out and launch it again, let's see if those things change, because if it was random, it would. Oh, and yeah, it totally did. Look, now there's a ton more that are unhappy than those are happy, as well as, the hats are still changing colors. Some that were frowning and had green hats now are happy with green hats, things like that. So as well as the positions of these stars, those change too. So I'm going to show you why those things happened, and I'm not going to focus on these 4 buttons because that was more of a job for Lab 6 than Lab 8. So instead I'm going to trace back the start of this and why everything looks the way that it does. And so to do this, we're going to check out the MU panel. And the main thing, well, okay, let's focus on the round heads first instead of the stars. So for the round heads, they are all in this big array named round head array, and there's 19 round head objects. And so after that, I start up a for loop. And what this for loop basically says is that it defines a variable named index at the beginning, and it starts it at 1. And so basically this for loop continues until the index is less than what the length of this should be. So since the length is 19, that makes it so that this for loop repeats 19 times, and that it prints out, or I guess paints, 19 different round head objects. And so each time this goes through, it does all of this all over again. So you would think that it would print them all in the exact same place, but it actually doesn't, because things are changing depending on what the index is and what random numbers are generated, I guess. So I'm going to start at the base part of the lab. I'm not going to focus on everything. I don't want to focus on the modifications that I've made until after the base part of the lab. So first off, I define all of these things, and I set the hat color to red. And since the hat color is now red, that's pretty cool, but down here, I say that if the index is divisible by 2, the hat color is green. Now, if you recall, the index here is the thing that's keeping track of what number on the loop we are. So let's say it's it's gone through the loop 10 times. This is number 11. Then the index is going to be set to 11, and it's going to check this if statement. It's going to say, okay, is 11 divisible by 2? And it'll say no. So the hat color will not be green, and instead the hat color will be red, like it is up here. However, if, let's say, the number is 14, then the index will be divisible by 2, so then the hat color will be green. And so moving on, their sizes are also pretty different as well. And they also rely on the index and are random. So if the index is less than 12, then the size equals 20. But if they are not less than 12, which means if they're greater than or equal to, if the index is greater than or equal to 12, then the round head size will be 30. So looking at the round head class, if, let's say, the size of the round heads is 20, how does it know to make a round head that's actually, 20 pixels by 20 pixels? Well, if you look at this g.fill oval, it takes that size that we defined in the MU panel, and it fills the oval by 20 by 20, or in other cases 30 by 30 if the index is greater than 12. So now looking at the hat color, it's pretty similar. So when you draw the round head's hat, you set the color to the hat color, and you fill a rectangle, the two rectangles that make up the hat. And so if I set the hat color to green right here, and this part of the loop is where it tells it to look at the round head class and draw it. So when it sees this, it says, okay, draw it. Its name is Sammy. We'll talk about is happy later. It says, okay, let's say the hat color is green. Over and down, we'll also talk about those later. And it has the size of 30, and it has the horizontal step and the vertical step, which are basically set to be exactly the same, no matter how much they are. So then the round head class looks at that instantiation, and it says, okay, so the size is 20, the hat color is green, and everything else, and then it'll be able to print all that on the MU frame. Now let's run this file again. I want to move the round heads and show you what happens there. And then I can focus on the modifications that I made. So when I move the round heads, they all go in the same direction. They all go down and to the right at the beginning, and they're moving at the exact same speed. So that's not random at all. So far, nothing that I've showed you has been random. And that's because the vertical step is set to 15 and the horizontal step is set to 10. And so that's going to be these two values in the instantiation. So in the round head class, it's gonna, well, actually, I guess we can look at the MU frame. So the source of the, oh wait, whoops. Let's click on the Move Round Heads button. So that's gonna look at the MU panel and execute the move objects. And so move objects is right here, and that's gonna look at the RH array for that index. And here's actually another for loop. So it's going to do exactly what it said before. It's just going to execute this code 19 times because there's 19 objects in the RH array. So it's going to look in the index for each time in the index, it's going to move that object vertically and horizontally, but it's actually executing that code in the round head thing. So this checks to make sure it's not going to go off the screen. And if it would, I mean, I guess I'm focusing a bit on a Lab 6 concept, but I guess I should just show you this. So to move horizontally, it takes into account the horizontal step size, and to move vertically, it takes into account the vertical step size. And so it does both when you hit move objects, and then the last part of the move button action performed is the MU panel.repaint. So it just repaints everything, or else nothing would actually change. Okay, so that's how the move button works, and but there's two things that I've modified that we haven't talked about yet, and those are the random parts. So we're going to focus on, well, I mean, I guess technically three. We're going to focus on over, down, and is happy. Okay, so to change those things, what I did was, first off, let's focus on over and down first. So over and down use these two integers, v and w. So v equals a random number between 0 and 1 times 570. And w is another random number between 0 and 1, but it's times 470. And the reason for this is because the dimensions are 600 by 500. And so V is going to be the value for over, and W is going to be the value for down. So if it were any higher than those values, then they would go off the screen, and if they were any lower than those values, they would not be able to go through the full screen. And I needed to keep it's 470 and 570 because the round heads can be at maximum 30 pixels long. And so basically that's going to totally randomly place the round heads all over on the screen. There's no way to tell where they're going to be. And it's a pretty similar method for the isHappy. So if isHappy is set to true, then the round heads will be happy, as you can see in the round head class. If isHappy, then the color of the oval is yellow, and if it's not happy, then the color of the oval is pink. And there's a few other things that it determines, but that's the main one. So yeah, generates a random number between 0 and 1, and if that number is less than or equal to 0.5, it's not happy, and if it is greater than 0.5, then it is happy. Alright, so those are the two changes that I made, and it really goes to make it a lot more random than it was before, because in the original Lab8 they would just go in a straight line. But this way they're all over the screen. The only thing is they move in the same direction at the beginning. Alright, so last thing is to focus on the stars, and the stars also use that method. They're a totally random number, and it's between 590 and 490. So they're just going to go anywhere between 590 and 490, like I said. Well, anywhere between 0 and 590 for the x, and 0 and 490 for the y. And that's going to set the x and y variables for it. And if you look here, for this, so over is going to be how far to the right of the screen they are, and down is how far down on the screen they are. So one more randomly generated scene. So yeah, here it is. If there was one issue with this, it would be the names. They camouflage with the background and they kind of distract from it. They're all named Sammy, but other than that, I'm pretty proud of this, and yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for getting through this whole thing.